Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul, if Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign. This is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is a very analytical mind. I feel like you're somebody that maybe right now you've got a lot on your mind, and so it kind of feels that the thoughts just keep circling back to something. I feel like usually you're pretty much like you take in information through the senses and you process things quickly. I feel like right now you're kind of stuck in your head. So I feel like there's not a lot of body awareness at the moment. It's just a lot. It's very, very cerebral, yeah. And it may be not very common for you. I kind of feel like this is an anomaly in a Virgo reading to get the Eight of Swords. Maybe there's some issue right now that your mind keeps kind of going back to. You keep thinking about it again and again. We keep circling back. It's not a bad card. It's a card of analysis. It's a card of sort of paying attention to the details of something, analyzing those details. We're splitting things up into its component parts, and we're looking at those parts, and we're splitting those parts up. It's like we keep splitting the atom, and we're just finding smaller and smaller pieces, and then we split those, and then we find smaller pieces, and we split those. It can be a little much. So we've got to put this into some context and see what's going on for you. If you're searching for some clarity, well, there is a Queen of Wands and a Queen of Cups. There's the Two of Swords, exactly. Three of Cups. Yes, we're looking for the decision, obviously, that's going to bring us the most happiness, the most joy. And we have a Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords now is, to me, a good card because, one, it shows that we're getting out of our head a little bit. That we've said, okay, enough is enough. I'm done thinking about something. Okay, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to trust in how I feel, and I'm going to move forward. Okay, we have the Hanged Man, but we have the High Priestess. Very cool, these two cards. I'll show you a little trick with those cards in just a minute. We have a Nine of Pentacles and a Four of Pentacles. Yes, so this may be a business decision. It may be something about relationships. I feel like there's kind of two parts of you that are going in different directions. What we really need is, like the Art or the Temperance card to sort of blend together the fire and the water to make a third option. It may be that you're looking at this as being there's only two possible roads. I kind of feel like there's maybe more than that. Okay, this may be that you don't want either of those options. You're going to go do your own thing. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're just going to set it down over here with Mr. Ed, our little horse, right there on top, of course. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments right below the video. Now, as we look around the room, we see the two majors. Okay, we see the Hanged Man, which is your willingness to accept the situation as it is. And of course, the High Priestess is asking for your faith, hope, and trust. Spirit is here with a message trying to guide you to a future. And, well, let me just show you this right now. The Hanged Man and the High Priestess are designed to go together. Now, I'll probably get in trouble with YouTube for showing you this. But that is, just keep that to yourself. Okay, don't show anybody that. These two cards are meant to go together because it's our surrendering to that divine guidance. It's you acquiescing to your intuition. It is you taking the hand of spirit, taking the spiritual guidance, taking the hand of the high priestess that's being offered to you and saying, come with me, this is the way to your good life. This is the path that you must take. Even if that path is, I don't know, over the hills and through the woods, even if it is, through the briar patch, even if spirit is trying to rake us over the coals, as it were, this is the path. This is that part of you that knows. And it's here in the environment and in the position of your relationships. So I feel like there are a lot of synchronicities happening in your life that are trying to tell you, trust the path that's being shown to you. Don't like you're at a crossroads and don't assume that there's only left and right, that you have to pick one or the other of these pathways. I feel like Spirit is showing you something that might be off trail with that hermit energy, okay, Virgo? So the Nine of Pentacles becomes the path that you're meant to walk. And there could be, with these two queens, there could be two different impulses in you. One wants to go left, one wants to go right. The High Priestess, I think, is transcending those, but we've got to be that hanged man. We've got to surrender, and we've got to take the hand of the High Priestess. We've got to surrender to that divine will, surrender to that intuition or to that cosmic consciousness. And we've got to be willing to follow that divine force, okay, that guidance. We've got fire right here in the middle. We've got water and water this way. We've got air, air, and air. Look at that pathway of air. 2 to an 8 to a 10. Now, what that's doing is the 2 of Swords is the multiplier card. It's a big multiplication sign, right? And so what it's doing is it's trying to split hairs. It's trying to comb through something over and over and over again in order to find the solution. So this is the card of the way thoughts may multiply. The more we think about something, the more we think about it. Thoughts beget thoughts, okay? And we'll get trapped. And then so if that's where we are, we're thinking, we're splitting something up. Now I have 2. Each one of these gets to be split into 2. And now I have however many. I have 4, I have 8, I have 64, I've got 132, I got whatever. It just keeps, it's exponentially more and more and more until we find ourselves tied up in some Christmas lights with all this complexity because we've trapped ourselves in by all of this thought. Okay. And then of course the 10 is, I feel like we're just kind of, the whole thing breaks down. Okay. And maybe this is that breakdown where we need all of our thoughts to just break down into nothing, and what remains is going to be the intuition. Really, that's hinted at in the 2 of Swords because you see that little crescent moon at the top there. This is the card that's not talking about, like the decision you have to make, but how you make decisions. And right now I feel like you're trying to make an intellectual decision. It's got to be a decision from the heart. It's got to be a decision from Spirit. Okay, from your divine will, from the cosmic consciousness. So the 2 of Swords becomes, instead of the multiplication symbol, it becomes a stop sign, right? Saying no more thinking. Let's feel the answer rising up within us, okay? Because it is in there. But we're starting with the 8 of Swords. This is interference. Sometimes those thoughts interfere with that divine guidance. The cosmic consciousness can be drowned out sometimes by the mental complexity. So this is a trap. We're overthinking something. We're considering options that are very limited. So we feel kind of fenced in. This is the feeling now we're starting to feel a little helpless. Because we're looking at the problem and think I can either use the screwdriver or the hammer. And it's like those are the tools that you have, but you're not considering the entire garage full of tools, the entire hardware store full of other things that you could use, right? So this is problem solving, but it's like we're thinking of only like 2 options, or very limited set of options, okay? So it's problem solving that is assuming you only have like, one technique or one method or like 1 or 2 or 3 options that you could choose from. Does that make sense? So the problem is not external, right? This is the thought process itself. And we keep looping in on the same things. It's like, okay, well, maybe the hammer will work. No, the hammer won't work. What about the screwdriver? No, screwdriver's not it either. Oh, I know, the hammer. Let's use the hammer. No, wait, the hammer's not going to work. And so it's just, we keep going, we keep looping. It's like a game of Pong, right? We're just going back and forth and back and forth. And so we have to get out of this loop. We have to break this loop. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing your environment. Getting outside, get up, move around, go outside, change the environment. Okay? Sometimes it helps by speaking our thoughts out loud. Have a conversation with yourself even. You don't have to find somebody else, just you. Just talk to yourself about this. Because what that does is it forces you to slow your thoughts down so that you can articulate them. Sometimes my thoughts are going way faster than my mouth can move, and that's when I end up, tripping over my words or cramming words together or biting my tongue or something. And it's just a message to slow down. And so by speaking out loud, we are reducing the power of some of these thoughts, and we're reducing their speed and frequency. Okay? We're not trapped anywhere right now. We might just be feeling overwhelmed. You should choose a small action, something doable right now, something that you can afford to do right now today, just to create a little bit of movement. Okay? I think you're a lot closer to clarity than you think. So shift your energy a little bit. And I think that's kind of where we get this Queen of Wands. This is a very confident energy for you. And I feel like Spirit wants you to step into this kind of boldness almost. This is a magnetism. This is a card really of self-trust. This is a card that's saying, I'm standing tall because I believe in what my intuition is telling me. I trust myself, not my ego, not my little s self, but the big capital S self, right? I trust myself. You're someone with charisma. You're someone with personal power. This is a very confident card. This is saying, I'm not chasing the answer anymore. I'm not hunting down my every thought. I'm not going to worry and stress and lament and all that. I'm not going to be stuck in this. I mean, just look at these swords cards. I'm not going to be stuck here. I refuse. So the Queen of Wands is stepping into a room very proudly and is not going to be pressured into a choice, not going to feel overwhelmed by the problem that, the puzzle that needs to be solved. It's really just kind of stepping away from it and saying, I'll figure it out when I figure it out. And maybe moving away from the problem a little bit is going to help. Okay? Because this is that kind of personal power. This is your presence in life. Your glow right now, I think is more important than you knowing the answers to anything. And also take care of your body. Okay? Confidence is something that needs to be like a little physiological, So get up and do something. Take some sort of intentional movement, or just change your environment. Do something that will make you feel like, okay, I am in control here. I am the boss of this situation, even if you feel you're kind of overwhelmed by all that thinking. Yeah. This is a card also of kind of expressing yourself, Express your style. Express your creativity. Express your identity. I feel like Spirit's kind of telling you, like, put on the really like wild shirt, or like put on the crazy hat today. Wear the fancy jacket today. Just to give yourself that sense of being in control and being confident and being present. I feel like you're a very charismatic person. Sometimes we get so bogged down by our thinking that we sort of lose touch with our body. Remember at the beginning I said that it feels like we're really cerebral, really in our head. We need to get back to like the physical thing. So adorn your physical body with something that makes you feel good. Put on the shoes that you like, or the jacket that you like, or do your hair the way you want, or, something of that nature. Yeah. Something that's expressive of your identity. Okay? Own your presence. And I feel like that's kind of you pronouncing to the world, like, pronouncing even to your own mind that I own this problem. And I'm not going to be I'm not going to be overrun by these thoughts. I'm the boss. I'm in control, right? And then we also have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is emotional wisdom, compassion, okay? This is you feeling quite sensitive to a situation. And I feel that you are trying to maintain a calm inner peace, trying not to let the issue, whatever is going on in your life, overwhelm you. Try not to let it disturb you. You don't want to be reactive to something. You want to be able to respond in a way that is heartfelt and compassionate and respectful and empathic and all that good stuff, you know. The thing about the queens is that the queens are all looking at the past, processing an ending of something, or in this case, perhaps thinking about what is the strategy to get away from something. See, the queens are trying to distance themselves from something in the past, while the knights of the tarot are trying to bring themselves closer to something in the future, right? So what are we moving away from? What is it that we're trying to get out of, or what are we trying to put into the past, into the rear view mirror? And I wonder if some of you are looking at the past and considering a past decision and wondering if you made the right or wrong decision back here, someplace in the past, okay? I wonder if some of you are realizing that maybe the past decision wasn't the most pure one, wasn't the truest choice, okay? The Queen is trying to lead from that emotional intelligence, trying to really feel like, am I still on board with this? How do I really truly feel about something? Okay. Trying to have some emotional boundaries, trying to get in touch with how we really truly feel, lifting the veil of our own emotions. And this card is already under the surface here. So I kind of wonder in a way if the Queen of Wands is saying, I need to go forward with something because that was the choice that I made, and I'm going to just continue to do it. I'm not going to even consider the past. See, the Queen of Wands is very quick to let go of the past. She'll move on from something quick, right? But the Queen lingers. Right? The Queen lingers. So you have these two contending forces where the Queen just wants to keep going forward, and the Queen of Cups wants to kind of understand what happened or why it happened, or like, how do I feel about it? Was it the right decision, and how does that affect me, and all that kind of stuff. So we have those two, like maybe there's one part of you that wants to stay and just stick it out and keep doing it and stick with it. And there's another part of you that wants to just move on, just say, nope, I made a bad decision, I need to move on from it. So there could be that kind of conflict, okay? And of course, the Two of Swords, like we talked about, is the inner peace, right? And it may be that we really would like to return to this state of inner peace where we felt balanced, where we felt like we kind of, we didn't have the stress of the 8. Is this, again, it's like our mind is trying to solve a problem and we're getting pretty stressed out over it. The 2 is where my decisions flow easily because I'm connected with my intuition, and I can make decisions without disturbing myself, mentally, right? Protecting our mental well-being and protecting our inner peace. When we're faced with 2 equal options, the best bet is to let our body decide. We need to get in touch with the physical, and I feel like we finally do that when we get to the end of the Path of the Serpent with the 2 Pentacles cards. Until then, we're in the the air and the water, the heart and the mind. So I feel like the heart and the mind are kind of like, trying to sort out what to do right now. Okay? We've got to step back, first of all, from anyone else's opinions. That's number 1. Nobody else has to decide this for you. Nobody else gets to tell you what to do. Sometimes that would be easier, wouldn't it? If you can just ask your friend, can you just tell me what to do? Because I can't figure it out. I think the only one that can do that is your capital S self. Okay? That's the only thing that can tell you what to do right now. Whether that's God, goddess, deity, spirit, whether it's your guardian angel or spirit guides or ancestors, or your true self, higher self, authentic self, cosmic consciousness, whatever it is. Okay? Right now you're not stuck anywhere, you're just processing something. Okay? And once we process, we'll figure this out. But you're not going to choose because of any kind of fear. You're not going to feel pressured. Okay? Once the answer feels calm and feels certain, then you will act. There is no rush here. Okay? And so there may be a part of you that's like trying to just put it behind you and run forward as fast as you can. There's another part of you that's saying, no, we need to stay here. We need to process what's going on and really get in touch with our feelings and, do all that sort of thing. You have a 3 of Cups up top, and the 3 of Cups is what you're really hoping for. You want abundance. You want friendship, community, celebration, joy, support, delight, bliss. You want the wish to come true, okay? This might be a situation that has to do with family or a friendship, okay? It might have to do with something about a group of friends or something along those lines. And I think that this is kind of like, this is what we're hoping for in life. We want to connect with people that make us feel positive and make us feel good about what we're doing. Okay, this is about joy that's shared with other people. This is the card really of live, laugh, love. I know that sounds very corny, very cliche, but I like it. Live, laugh, love, right? That's what we want, but right now we're stuck in our heads because we just can't figure out either what to do about another person or what to do about our situation, or should I go this way or this way? What's the path to take? We're stuck in our minds. Maybe we're overanalyzing a relationship or a friendship. Okay? This may have to do with something about your connection with another person, a social connection, a family connection, a friendship. Okay? I feel like this, you want to laugh and you want to feel good and you want to, share your experiences with other people. See, the 3 of Cups is your potential, your capacity for love. And I feel like you've got such a big heart and such a high capacity for love. But is the situation you're in now allowing you to express that? And so I wonder if you feel like you're able to connect with somebody else in a way that's really, really meaningful. Or if you're kind of feeling like, you have this really huge capacity, but it's not being utilized. That you're in a situation where it's only like half or not even that, And it may be that you don't feel, that you're not sure, let me just say that, you're not sure if you feel that real inner connection with somebody. It may be that there are other considerations about this relationship, that it feels safe in other ways, it feels nurturing and sustaining in other ways, but it's not as full and as rich and as deeply, strongly connected as you would like. See, what we really want is, we've got this 3 of Cups inside of us, and we want to find another 3 of Cups out there somewhere, and we want to connect, and then we get a 6 of Cups. Then we get that beautiful, harmonious relationship. Could be that you're a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. Maybe this is a job, maybe this is a family thing, a friendship, maybe this is it could be a romantic relationship. Okay? But it just feels like there's a lot that's kind of not there that you would like to see, and that you would like to experience. But this card is Mercury in Cancer. So it has to do with us having a strategy or a plan, or even speaking up about what it is we really truly want and what we really truly need in our lives. This is the communication of our needs, right? Mercury in Cancer. To me, it feels like this might be like a home situation, a living situation, something domestic, family, friends. Like it's a personal. It doesn't feel professional. It doesn't feel like this is a work thing necessarily. But we do have a 10 of Swords here. And the 10 of Swords is simply the sun in Gemini. It is an awakening, an enlightenment, a clarity into the relationship. Okay, Gemini being the lover's card, right? And then, of course, the sun is that truth, that clarity, seeing things for what they actually are. And this is sometimes a card that is like, the light is breaking through the mind here. The intuition is breaking through all the static and all the noise. I kind of feel like your soul, spirit, your cosmic consciousness, your intuition is screaming at you. Okay, screaming at you. And it may be that something is needing to end. And sometimes accepting that is going to bring you the utmost relief. This is a card that's kind of done fighting for something. It's kind of like it's to me this is a dry and desiccated card. It's like we've had an orange, we've squeezed all the juice out of it, but it didn't fill up your glass. There wasn't enough in there. There's no point in continuing to squeeze it because nothing else is coming out. So it may be that we need to let something conclude, that we're ready to, we're ready to end this chapter and move on to the next chapter, which I feel is going to be much more successful and beneficial to you. Now, of course, this could still be a work thing or something financial because of the nature of the earth cards that we have, the 9 and the 4, of course. It could be very financial, right? But I feel like something needs to end. There's a sunrise that's coming. There is, a message here that's saying, close this chapter, because the rebirth is already in motion. It's already happening. And I think that, closing that chapter is for us to really just like mentally have closure, to where we can stop ruminating on it. And I don't need to continue thinking about it. Maybe this is something from the past that you keep thinking about, where the Queen of Wands wants to really, and it's really Spirit's way of saying, just be done with whatever that was and move on. Where the Queen of Cups is saying, no, I need to think about it some more. I need to feel it some more. Okay? And maybe it's a situation that ended last week, last month. Maybe it ended last year. But it's something that inside the Queen of Cups is not letting you move on from. So I don't think, really, honestly, I don't think it's any situation that you're currently in that needs to end. Like the friendship or the romantic thing or the job thing. I don't think that you have anything now that needs to end. I think you're still ruminating and dwelling on something that already ended. A decision that was already made. And I think maybe going back and thinking, was that the right thing? Why did that happen? I don't know, that can't be right. What is the message there? Why did that happen? Did I do the wrong thing? Is it my fault? No. The Queen of Wands is saying, put on your fancy hat and jacket and get forward. Get out of there. Get out of your head, Get back into your body and realize that Spirit has brought you exactly where you're supposed to be. I feel like the Swords cards, honestly, are ruminating on something that has already happened. Already done. We need to get rid of these and get rid of that even. And now the Queen of Wands is saying, I'm ready to get the love, to get the laughter, to get everything that I'm ready to live and laugh and love. Okay? So I feel like, again, this is something that we're still ruminating on. We're still processing something from the past, something that's already happened, either a decision that you made or something that happened in the universe that is, you're sort of feeling the effects of it. Spirit's trying to tell you, your own spirit is trying to tell you, it's time to move on. It's time to get out of our head, right? The Queen of Wands is ready to just do a clean break with that past. Now we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Let me know which card on the path of the serpent resonates with you the most. All right. I want to quickly do a manifestation oracle card before we move on. Vantage point. Ask Spirit to give you clarity. Ah, yes, clarity. Because we don't have it right now. Ask Spirit to give you clarity so you can change your perspective. Say out loud with me. Type it in the comments, Virgo. I see my path clearly. Type it with me. I see my path clearly. Because that's what, and the Queen of Wands does. Because it's saying, I'm done with the past. I don't even care. I'm not going to cling to it. I'm not going to linger in the past. I'm not going to ruminate on it. I'm not going to let it affect my present or my future. What's happened has happened. The Hanged Man is surrendering. The Hanged Man is ready to get out of this position of pause. I'm stuck because I'm ruminating on something that already happened. Maybe it happened last week, last month, last year. The Queen of Wands is ready to go. See, the Hanged Man is acquiescence, surrendering, accepting that which we cannot control. You cannot change the past. You cannot undo what has happened. I think you've thought about it enough. You've processed it enough. It's time to just let it go. Don't resist. Don't try to fight it. Okay? This is that card that is just, I accept the things I can't change. You know, it's kind of that serenity prayer, right? I accept the things that I cannot change. We're releasing control. The situation is not, you can't undo it. Okay? It's already happened. Now, there's part of you that could be trying to fight for the past, trying to go back to it and say, no, please don't end. Or please don't happen the way it happened. I don't know what we're talking about exactly, but you can't undo what has happened. The only way forward is forward, right? So let go of trying to understand more about what happened. I feel like there's nothing more that you can be gained from that thought. You know, it's like we keep thinking about the past, trying to squeeze more of the juice out of it, squeeze more of the wisdom out of it, or at least answers. We're trying to squeeze the past to get answers out of it. There's no more. There's no more answers there, you know? So we're now giving space for our life to reassemble. What feels like a delay is actually alignment, okay? The patience now is going to be your power. Notice where you've been clinging to that intellectually, clinging to that past, okay? This is the moment that is us kind of saying, okay, fine, I surrender. I'm ready for my breakthrough. Yeah. Stop struggling with it mentally, right? It's going to change you. So now this is us kind of voluntarily taking the hand of the High Priestess and saying, I trust you. Because the High Priestess, Spirit, Cosmic Consciousness, the Divine, has brought you to this moment in time and is trying to continue to lead you forward, but you're just like stuck in the chain link fence. You're stuck in the barbed wire of the swords cards. Okay? And she's tugging at you and trying to get you to come through, and it hurts. You know, I know it does, but it's better for you to go forward. Okay? Your life is reforming. Things are in process. Things are in motion for you. Now, the High Priestess is your intuition, your inner knowing, the spiritual insight, cosmic consciousness. When we reduce the noise, we can hear it. Stop scrolling. Stop, asking other people their opinions. Stop thinking about this so much. Stop ruminating. Stop looping back in on this issue from the past. Invoke silence. Okay? And your true will, your true feelings, the truth will rise. The true signal is present in you at all times. But our mind can sometimes get a little too busy and we can't hear it. The answers are there. We just kind of have to let go. Relax your body. I feel like you need like a yoga nidra or like a non-sleep deep rest. I did one of those on, what channel was it? Dove and Serpent Radio, if you want to go check that out. As a way to get in touch with your body, but to relax the body. And I bet by the end of my yoga nidra session, if you go watch the video, by the end of it, you'll have some sort of clarity. I see my path clearly. Type that in the comments, remember. We're not forcing it. We're getting in touch with the body and we're letting those answers come. And keep some of this private. I feel like if you start talking to other people about it, they're going to have opinions, and pretty soon we're right back in that Eight of Swords. Right back in there. Okay? You can journal, you can do voice record, you talk about, get it all out, express all those feelings. Express what you feel, not what you think. Okay? Because that's the problem here, is that this processing, the Queen of Cups still wants to be here, still wants to exist. But we're stuck in our heads, which means we're not in our body, and we're certainly not in our hearts right now. We're not in our feelings. So we keep thinking of the details and the facts, but we're not processing the emotion, and that's why this process feels stuck. Okay? So do the journaling, do the voice recording. Don't just sit there and think, though. Express the feelings, right? Not the thoughts. Watch for signs, symbols, and synchronicities. Watch for repeating symbols, repeating numbers. Especially once you start letting those feelings kind of come out and working that process so that we can move forward. There is meaning here. Okay? You have to rest more, calm your nervous system down, calm your mind down any way that you can, going outside, getting into nature, meditation, yoga nidra, massage, body awareness kind of thing. Okay? But trust what you feel. Trust your intuition, because it's really bringing you an important message. Okay? Now, the Nine of Pentacles here in the position of the fear. The Nine of Pentacles is an active traveling of the spiral road, right? Because the 9 is an active number. It is a verb. This is you traveling a path. This is you walking a successful road, the spiral road of your destiny, right? And it's in the fear because we're worried we're never gonna get moving again. That something happened in your fairly recent past that's made you feel stuck. We fear that we'll never get unstuck and we'll never get back on down the road, This is a card of independence, achievement, and even pleasure. This is a self-sufficient card. This is, it's you spending time out in nature, in the beautiful and nourishing environments. This is you making decisions independently from a sense of fullness, from a sense of capacity, not from scarcity, not from lack. This is you earning and enjoying what you've earned. This is your autonomy. This is you celebrating your autonomy. This is your presence on your particular journey in life. Enjoy the life that you're cultivating. Okay? This is that cultivation. This is progress. The Nine of Pentacles is the visible sign of progress. It is the card of gain. This is literally you living a successful life. Okay? And so it's showing me that the worry, really, the fear, the anxiety is that we're not going to get... See, the Hanged Man isn't traveling on a road yet. You know what I mean? Or there's a pause on the road. For whatever reason, we're not walking. Now, once we flip that around, now we're dancing. Now we're skipping down the road. Now we're doing a little hopscotch here on the Nine of Pentacles, right? And so we have to let Spirit take our hand and guide us down our yellow brick road. through, over the hills and through the woods, through the briar patch, over the coals, down the yellow brick road, whatever happens to be on here. This is a road that's beset by ups and downs and twists and turns. Okay, but it is the path to your Emerald City. It is the path to wealth, to the best life, right? The 10 comes right after the 9. We've got to travel the road if we're going to get to the destination, to the success. Okay, we've got to get moving again, basically, right? And if we're stuck in our heads, it means that we're not in our bodies, we're not moving our feet. We got to start moving our feet. Okay, and what we find at the end here is the 4 of Pentacles, stability. We see something that we've built, and we see us protecting what we've built. We see safety, security. We see integrity. We see boundaries. We see fortification. This is financial stuff, financial boundaries, a good financial foundation, but it's also emotional boundaries. Okay, this is also your clear and peaceful environment. This is your home. This is you saving money and building up a sense of security and stability. But control of your life doesn't really equal safety, right? Because this card's about controlling resources. The income and the outgo, you're regulating it, okay? Clarity gives you safety, because we know that the 4 is temporary. Anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5. What is the yellow brick road beset by? Ups and downs and twists and turns. In other words, it's a 4 plus a 5 equals a 9. So there's always stability, but there's always worry, there's always change. Change and stability go hand in hand. This is a moment of stability, but this isn't safety. It's the illusion of security. Okay, it is impermanent. Clarity gives you safety, because whether you're in a 4 or a 5, you know you're traveling on down the road. Okay, so I don't know what we're dealing with here that we're sort of stuck on or we're ruminating on. But clarity right now is going to guide you, because you're headed into a period of stability and control. Okay, a strong foundation, a strong base, and this kind of security and safety. You've got to stick with your clarity, though, because that's going to allow you to continue walking down the road. Okay? Now let's look at the mystery card. Now with the 4 of Pentacles, I feel like that is definitely like this body awareness kind of thing, right? To me, it feels like abdominal breathing. Yeah, belly breathing. Do the belly breathing if you can. And really connect with the ground. The bottoms of the soles of your feet and the palms of your hand. Connect that with the earth as close as you can to the ground, to the actual ground, not the concrete, not the metal or the asphalt, but the dirt, okay? And the 4 of Pentacles is also very good. Healthy habits. Yeah, healthy habits and routines in your day that you feel are strengthening your base, okay? Strengthening the core kind of your life. Now let's look at this mystery card. I want to see the Hermit. I want to see maybe a 10 of Pentacles, maybe the Ace of Swords. Or any of the aces, I think, would be good. It might be a 5 of Pentacles, though. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, it's the Devil. I like the Devil card, because the Devil is us getting fired up. The Devil card is us getting motivated now to get up the mountain, to get back on the spiral road up the mountain. The problem is something's got us chained. Something's got us stuck. This card especially from the Rider-Waite pack is showing the Devil being sort of, to me, feels like our motivation, our life, our progress is stuck in the chain link fence. Because there's something chaining us to this leaden brick, right? And we just can't move forward. We have to break that chain, which is basically getting out of the birdcage, getting unstuck, putting the past behind us, letting go, that sort of thing, right? So that our goat can climb the mountain without any sort of anchors behind it. This is the life force. This is your creative power. This is your sovereignty. Okay? This is your sacred desire. This is the engine that moves your life forward. And now that we've gotten out of that overthinking mind, we're back in our bodies, our feet are moving, and we're walking that road, and we're ready for any challenges that come our way. And we're going to keep going. We're fired up. We're motivated. We are motivated. Okay? And we're climbing that mountain of our lives. We're walking that spiral road. Yeah. And to me, this is that engine. This is that power that we feel. Okay? This is you directing your power toward your goals, and you are hitting the gas. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo on Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.